Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. It's not wrong to say this movie is making history with its unprecedented global box office success.
I think all eyes are looking to Japan, wondering, well, how can we jump in on this bandwagon?
The film was distributed by Sony and Crunchyroll. It opened with better than expected $70 million in ticket sales in the US and Canada, according to studio estimates, making it the biggest anime opening ever.
The hype isn't limited to one region or country. It's spreading almost equally across the world. Demon Slayer is pushing anime further into the mainstream, popularizing it on a global scale. From advanced ticket bookings to opening day numbers, everything about this release has been massive. Even my friends who know nothing about anime are getting FOMO when reels of Zenitsu's fight or Akaza's final scenes pop up on their feeds. Demon Slayer has practically become a cultural phenomenon at this point. So coming to the review, the story begins right after the Hashira Training Arc, when Muzan was almost caught, leading into the start of Infinity Castle. This movie also follows the typical Demon Slayer style of storytelling. Don't expect mind-twisting plots or major story progression. It can be roughly divided into three parts: Shinobu vs Upper Rank 2 fight, Zenitsu vs Upper Rank 6, and Tanjiro and Gyu vs Akaza fight. Ufotable played it safe here. They didn't aim for big twists or shock value, instead focused on what they do the best. On paper, the movie is just three big fights, packed with flashbacks for everyone, and that's it. Yet it's breaking records and creating waves worldwide. The reason is simple: Demon Slayer knows how to deliver impactful fights with real payoffs. The animation makes up for everything, and that's the recipe here too. When action set pieces are presented with this much effort and perfection, even a straightforward story feels epic. For the masses, this combination is pure gold. That's the reason behind the massive popularity of this movie and Demon Slayer as a whole. To understand this better, take for example Your Name or even Mugen Train. Both follow simple, straightforward stories, yet their execution makes them shine. The epic set pieces and well-crafted backstories create powerful payoffs in the end, even if the story itself is so simple. So my opinion for this movie is, the starting felt a bit slow with Shinobu vs Doma fight and their backstories, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed it. Watching this piece of art on the big screen was an experience. The colors popping, the stylized fights, the music. I walked out of the cinema with no complaints. The movie might not be a masterpiece, but it surely delivers on expectations and becomes a spectacle worth experiencing. This movie is the first installment of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc, with the next movies expected to be in 2027 and 2029. This opening chapter of the trilogy is already breaking records worldwide, as I said earlier, and while it wraps up with three major fights, a lot more actually happens in this movie. I haven't read Demon Slayer manga, but I thought they could have gone with a final season. Instead, they choose to make it a trilogy, probably for obvious reasons. So I was a bit skeptical at first about how they would manage to wrap up the whole story in just three movies, yet they actually did a great job with this first chapter. Rather than rushing, the movie takes its time and lets things breathe. In the first fight between Shinobu and Doma, Shinobu's backstory is covered really well, and even Doma gets a bit of his past shown to give us some insight into I's character. And the crowd goes crazy when Zenitsu shows up. I's fight against Upper Rank 6 was amazing. The new style, developing a new form of thunder breathing mid-battle, everything was just so cool. The backstory behind this change in behavior was handled so well and felt really impactful. I absolutely loved that part. Then comes the real highlight of the movie: Tanjiro and Gyu vs Akaza. Nearly half the runtime is spent on this fight, yet it never feels overwhelming or repetitive. Ufotable animated this entire sequence flawlessly as expected. When Akaza's backstory begins, It's surprisingly long but never boring. We see how unfair life was to him, and just when he finally gets a chance at a normal, happy life, it's shattered in an instant, leaving him with no choice. I won't go into exact details, but the way they handled this backstory was really brilliant. When Akaza stops mid battle, recalls his past, and takes his own life, it elevates the entire movie to another level. This scene had fans crying in theaters, and the movie isn't over yet. For the climax, when Upper Moon 1 appeared, I literally got goosebumps just imagining how iconic and epic the next fight is going to be. So, in short, this was easily one of the best movies I've watched in 2025. Ufotable delivered as always. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it at your nearest cinema. It's truly one of a kind.